Venga. Caballeros, les voy a pedir que den una buena pelea, pero sobre todo que sea una pelea limpia. Están prohibidos los golpes con la cabeza, golpes debajo del cinturón, en la espalda y en la nuca. Se protegen los dos todo el tiempo y cuando yo indique fuera se separan sin tirar golpes. ¿Quedó claro para los dos? Suerte y que gane el mejor. A sus esquinas.
Here we go, 10 rounds of boxing in the welterweight division. The undefeated Santiago Summer Domínguez taking on Ricardo Lara. It is our main event of night 2 of RJJ Boxing here in San Carlos. TJ DeSantis alongside the Hall of Famer James Smitty Smith inside the majestic Marina Terra Event Center.
No, está bien, no.
Domínguez in the red, Lara in the black with silver.
Yeah.
Look for Domínguez to try to throw the left hook off of the jab. He led with it and then came back with a couple of jabs. I can see he's already getting in a position to try to throw that left hook. He throws it well to the body or the head. Has a decent right hand as well. Power in both hands. Better head movement there.
¡No! Box.
Domínguez, 23-0, we mentioned, 18 knockouts. He has that power, and you know it's great to see him fighting here in San Carlos. He's a native of Sonora State, fighting out of Ciudad Obregón, and you got to believe that if the fans were in here, Smitty, they would be coming alive for their native son. A lot of people excited about him, but of course, you know, you can almost hear a pin drop here as our main event is starting in a building with no crowd.
Right hand over the top by Domínguez. Lara trying some foot feints, trying to establish some distance. Needs to let that jab go a little bit more, or he leads with a right hand. One mistake I saw Lara make, it didn't cost him yet, but when he went back, he went straight back. That's a mistake, and he put his chin up in the air, and that can be a deadly situation against a puncher like Domínguez. It's a good 1-2 by Summer. It didn't land solidly, but I like the way he threw it. Very compact, very straight. Nice left hook by Lara there.
Two men fighting into the clinch. Quick break. Lara knows that he is the underdog here, fighting Domínguez. And is it easier for him to come into a place like this where he's the underdog without the crowd?
Fine.
See if another. This is the night of low blows,
I guess, huh? And again, obviously this one early, so just a warning. But, you know, we've seen it earlier. And I know that, you know, the referee is different. It's a different fight. You can't do makeup calls. But, you know, obviously everyone in the building knows that we've seen low blows. So does this change the tone of how they're going to be handled in future fights on the card? Or is this... You know, do you believe that the referee can isolate themselves from the previous situation and make the right call here?
One thing that I want to point out is this guy is doing, Lara did a better job than the other. He took some time, and he's a veteran, and especially against a big, you know, puncher like Domínguez, those low blows will stay with you a few minutes, and then it's one of those amazing things. It's almost like a solar plexus punch,
right.
That unless you sustain an injury, 2 or 3 minutes later, it's like it never happened.
Right.
So that's one good thing about it. I think hopefully the referee will just judge each instance as it comes. In terms of the fans and the situation, you know, I don't think with no fans and this kind of a year. Now there's a punch. That is the most dangerous punch you can throw in boxing.
Right.
A rapid punch.
Yep. And there really can be no tolerance for those types of strikes. There we go, round 1 in the books here between our main event fighters, Santiago Domínguez and Ricardo Lara. Look at the corner of the undefeated fighter in summer, Santiago Domínguez. You know, looking at Domínguez, he's got a well-traveled veteran in front of him. We've seen his power in the past, but he's gone, later into fights as well. He's put in the work. What is the approach here against someone, who is as well-traveled as Lara? Is it something that you can sort of glean from round one and what you expect someone to do here in round two?
I just think for Dominguez, I'm sure he came in here with a game plan. His team does a nice job, and they're just going to try to, I'm sure they have a game plan specific to Lara, but also it's work on the things that you need to work on each and every time out. And I know they've told me in the past they're trying to get him a little bit more proficient defensively. And for him, it's just about seasoning. But, at 29 years of age, which is so young, I'd like to be 29 knowing what I know now. But in that welterweight division, there's not a lot of time. So that's why I kept stressing the point that he really has to improve. When you're talking about the welterweight division, with guys like Errol Spence, Danny Garcia, we just saw Keith Thurman, Manny Pacquiao, and the guy I have is the best fighter in the world, Bud Crawford. You're kind of around all of their ages, so you don't have a lot of time to season. So you really have to make the most of each opportunity, and this is his fourth opportunity for summer this year, which is really of this year. So that's really a good in a pandemic year. That's
no kidding,
really good. So Terry Holland, his manager, and Guy Taylor, RJJ Boxing, done a good job of, and he's been very fortunate. So he should have an attitude of gratitude that he's had the ability to have all these fights. Nice combination there by Lara. Not a lot on it, but it gives Dominguez something to think about.
When you look at Dominguez, you talk about, the future being bright for him. How important is a statement, victory here, something with style points and, going forward with an effort to get one of those big fights? Does he need a statement win?
Yeah, people are watching Dominguez. People have asked me about him. And so networks or just people are watching him. The boxing world is watching him. So is he entertaining? Is he a guy that is entertaining? And you want to see, is he must-see TV? So that's why. It doesn't always have to be the knockout. Knockouts sell a lot of tickets, but it's just being very fan-friendly, if you will. And he is that type. He is that type of a fighter. I like what Lara's doing. He's not throwing a lot of hard shots, not committing to anything, which is going to help him in terms of getting into the latter stages if he continues to do that. Still, he's got to be leery of that left hook. I've seen some opportunities for Summer to land the left hook.
Dominguez complaining about another shot to the back of the head.
It's a nice combination by Lara. He's picking his shots well and showing me some veteran vision, the way he sees what he's trying to throw at and accomplishing it. And sometimes I think he's not even trying to land. He's just trying to set up other stuff and keep Dominguez thinking, keep him guessing. Sometimes your best defense is to have some offense. See what I mean about a jab? It doesn't have to be much, but just gives your opponent something to think about. Can set up stuff.
And you call it the can opener. It can definitely open up a lot of combinations and strikes later down the road. And 2 rounds in the books now between Dominguez and Lara. We see, some adjustments made around number 2. You credited Lara with, some veteranship there and picking his shots. But, Summer, very tough. We know that he has that power. But moving forward for Lara, how would you like to see him, move on into this 3rd round?
I would like to see him pick up right where he left off in round 2. Establish the jab, let his hands go, keep that responsible defense, elbows in, hands held high, and just do more of what he did in that round. Got clipped with the right hand and complained about, of course, there was that rabbit punch. But see, those are pesky little jabs. And even though Summer landed a shot, it was at the end of a jab, which took away from the power of Dominguez. Still gave Dominguez the round.
Right. Round 3, ready to go here. Round 3 of 10 scheduled in the welterweight division. Santiago, Summer, Domínguez, Ricardo, Lara, TJ DeSantis, along with the Hall of Famer James Smitty Smith. Marina Terra Event Center in beautiful San Carlos, Mexico. This is our main event of night 2 of RJJ Boxing on UFC Fight Pass. You know, we were talking earlier about a controlled offensive output, and that's what I think you see with Summer. He has that power. We've seen it on display in the past, but he's not forcing too much of anything. He's waiting for the opportunities to present themselves.
Well, I think what would help Summer would be to start to establish his own jab, because I can see where Lara is doing a really nice job of nullifying a lot of Santiago's offense, and Summer at times like to lead with his left hook or lead with his right hand, and he's getting hit with some shots here. And all of this started with the start of the implementation of a consistent jab, and what would help now for Summer would just be to establish his own stick and set things up himself off of his own left hand. See right there on the inside, even come in off the jab, come in with the jab. And it's everything really, it's Lara leading with the jab right now. And if Lara gets away from that, he'll probably get himself in trouble. If he keeps it up, he'll probably be okay. Good body work there by Dominguez, but unlike the fighter we saw earlier, this guy, Lara, has his hands, his elbows in tight. He's being responsible. He's getting loose now. He's throwing some nifty combinations.
He has yet to really eat a power shot from Dominguez, but as you mentioned, he is getting more and more confident, is Lara. He's got to be aware, though, right? He can't get too loose with his shots.
No, and you know, you can be elusive without running. You can be elusive by head movement, by upper body movement, by just a twist, a turn, a feint, a pair. There's all kinds of ways. You don't have to be, you know, Hector Macho Camacho in there on your bicycle, so to speak. I just like this offensive attack. Lara's having a really nice round, and he's given Dominguez a lot to think about, and perhaps frustrating him a little bit.
You talked about that jab of Lara, now, you know, utilizing the double jab, always doubling up on it, and it's finding a home more often than not.
And extremely, extremely relaxed is Lara. And that's one of the main things I like to see in a fighter is when they're relaxed. We saw a lot of young fighters early here with that hands held, and they're clenching down and almost, you know, biting down on their mouthpiece in the arm, and that just wears you out. You need to be relaxed. That comes with age and seasoning too. He's been a pro, Lara, 7 years. And see, that distance and that jab is why Dominguez was not able to land that left hook that he attempted there, and missing a left hook badly like that will take a lot out of you.
3 rounds down here in our welterweight main event. Shot there of Ricardo Lara. He travels to Sonora tonight to take on the undefeated Santiago Summer Dominguez. Dominguez 23-0 with 18 knockouts. Take a look at some of the action here in round number 3. Smitty, walk us through.
See a nice right hand, accurate right hand, a little combination by Lara. Good inside work. Sneaks in, I should say, a little uppercut. Good defense, jab, right hand, uppercut. Some of it missed. Parried off the one shot with his left elbow. With his left shoulder. I had Lara winning that round, TJ.
We'll see if he can build on that momentum here as we head into round number 4. We are underway.
Good start by Lara in this round. He lands a jab and a right hand. Not a lot on him, but just enough they are scoring points.
Would love to hear what our fans are thinking all around the world. You can tweet at us, at Smitty Boxing, at TJ DeSantis, of course, at UFC Fight Pass. Use the hashtag RJJBoxing.
And we only accept positive comments at Smitty Boxing.
About you, there's only positive comments. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not getting custom-made shirts over here, Smitty.
I like you more each time I work with you, TJ.
I'm learning. I'm coming around.
Good body work by both fighters there.
A lot of definitely coming alive, and so is Summer now.
Now was a nice display of a few different type. He varied the jab, Lara did there, up and down with it. Kelly's an experienced fighter.
Again, the jab on display, but a right hand added to that combination by Lara a moment ago.
shaking the hand there. I don't know if that's just a Leo Santa Cruz habit by Lara or if he did any damage to the left hand. He was shaking it there. Sometimes that's a sign you hurt it. Other times it's just a nervous twitch, a la my buddy Leo Santa Cruz.
He's still throwing the left hand, no problem.
He's feeling good about himself, Lara is right now. Very comfortable. Almost appearing that he's getting in his zone. Not worried about anything. Feels like he can. I think what it is Lara's seeing everything coming now. And again, what Summer should do is start to establish his own jab. See, he's coming in, but he's coming in with nothing.
Right.
He's coming in as a stationary target. And if he does that, Lara's going to pick him apart.
In the clinch there for a brief moment, they fight through it.
You know, he's at the point in his career where there's that dilemma of you can't feed him guys just to make him look good. You have to feed him guys to make him better. And sometimes the guys that make you better don't make you look good.
That's true. I mean, at the end of the day, a win is a win, and that's what you need. And sometimes wins aren't always as pretty as you would like them to be.
And then sometimes a fighter that, that just wins but doesn't do it in sensational fashion takes him longer to get the bigger shot because he's not as sought after by networks and other entities in boxing.
Flurry of action here to end round number 4. Right hand on the bell there by Dominguez. I think both men have earned each other's respects here through 4 rounds.
Yeah, pretty much what they told me about Lara, even the Dominguez camp and matchmaker Guy Taylor, I said, well, he has 10 KOs in his 20. He said, no, Smitty, he's going to look for him to be kind of slick and box, and that's exactly what's happened. And I have it. I have this fight after 4 rounds dead even.
Take a look at this shot here. This was the punch maybe on the bell, right after the bell. This is from action earlier in the round.
And good action by Lara. See how comfortable he looks? Sees everything coming, creates a miss. Summer got in 1 shot there. There was a nice right hand to punctuate the round. I don't know was that after the round or not.
On the bell, maybe right after the bell. But, the composure of Lara, I mean, you mentioned it, the confidence growing. He's out there, he's boxing. He's having a decent time. Looks very comfortable in there with the undefeated and dangerous Dominguez.
And he's leading. Like, this is about the 3rd round in a row. He started out with something. This time it was a lead left hook. It's amazing what confidence can do for a fighter. Now, this is where he doesn't want to be, and this was where Summer wants him to be, on the rope.
Talk about confidence growing for Dominguez. That was probably his best combination of the fight. We saw Lara initiate that clinch and hold on just a little bit, now back on the ropes.
Now here's a few moments for Dominguez to do some damage, and he did a good job of coming in with that jab, even jabbing right to the midsection. Will set up stuff, set up the hooks to the body. It'll set up the overhand rights. Just let the jab go like that. And for Summer, I would like to see him step in with it like that.
Right. See that jab again on point from Lara.
Now, for Lara, I would like to see his jab being just what it more of a pesky jab. I think Dominguez should continue to try to throw a
second time the rabbit punch landed at the back ahead of Lara, and you could tell the referee giving him a stern warning.
What I was saying, I think Dominguez should throw an authoritative jab, and Lara should throw the alternate his jab and throw the pesky jab, because they're different styles of fighter. There's that pesky jab, and see what it did. It backed Dominguez up, gives him something to think about, and he's not throwing anything off of that. There's a nice right hand. Snaps the head back of Lara. I don't think it hurt him, but snapped his head back.
In this round, we've seen Lara with his back against the ropes a few times. Dominguez is getting him in that uncomfortable situation. You've seen him make the most of it a few times here.
And that's where, especially against a fighter like Dominguez, you don't want to be. And even if you're not getting hit solidly in terms of scoring a fight, the judges always react to that stuff. Nice left hook there by Dominguez. Didn't land with the authority he would have liked it to.
Final minute here of round number 5. You know, we talked about the confidence growing over the course of this fight for Lara, but this round it seems like Dominguez is getting his game going a little bit more. Do you feel him stealing some of that momentum back?
I think that's because Lara allowed it to happen by backing up against the ropes. Now you notice now the opportunity, he's not going against the ropes. He had it right there. He was almost against it, and he kind of felt the ropes.
Right.
The great fighters feel the ropes. You don't even have to touch it. You kind of can feel them, just a sense, and you slide to the left or the right, whichever way you want to go. Against Summer, I think it's better to move to your left to stay away from his left hook.
Dying moments here of round number 5. His combination there by Dominguez. And again, that jab on point for Lara. Halfway point of the fight. Welterweight main event. Santiago Domínguez, 23-0, taking on Ricardo Lara. Got to believe that was a solid round for Domínguez as far as, stealing some of that momentum and getting his fight going once again in this fight.
Yeah, and I gave him that round, and thus I have him leading the fight now because of that. You see him coming in, pounding the body, and then going upstairs to the head. Powerful shots. That right hand snaps the head straight back of Lara. I think that, again, what started all that was Dominguez coming in behind a powerful jab. Nice combination. A real good round for Dominguez. I don't think Lara was hurt.
Right.
But it certainly helped Dominguez that round. Let's see if he tries to establish that powerful jab and work his way in and try to back Lara up against the ropes.
And as you mentioned, maybe he wasn't necessarily hurt, Lara, but the aesthetic for the judges, I mean, that was a big round in a lot of ways for Dominguez.
Absolutely.
Round 6 underway here. TJ DeSantis, James Smitty Smith. Appreciate you joining us live for night 2 of RJJ Boxing on UFC Fight Pass. Right hand finds a home for Summer.
There's a sweeping left hook that I've seen Summer take guys out with, but this guy, Lara's a little craftier. And he's done a good job with for the most part, he's done a good job with that DLT that I call the distance leverage and the timing that timed that right hand pretty good. See, you can tell he's very relaxed.
Combination of the body there. Looks like Dominguez may have indicated that one of those shots landed low.
Like when these referees are constantly yapping.
I like you tell them like it is.
Yeah, well, let me and you yap. They don't need to be yapping all the time unless they need to. I mean, if there's something they need to yap about, then yap.
Right.
But a lot of these refs today are just getting way overly officious. If they want my job, go for it, but I'm not trying to do their job. They have a really difficult job because their main job is to protect these fighters. By and large, I know they're all really trying to do their best.
It's one of the toughest spots to be in.
It really is.
For sure.
But they still should stop yapping so much.
You made your point, Smitty.
Yes.
I feel you.
Dominguez trying to come forward, TJ, but really not landing enough. And, we back to what we talked about last night. When you score a fight, 4 criteria: clean, hard punching, effective aggressiveness, ring generalship, and defense. And then my 5th, who's doing more of what they want to do. And just by a hair, I think Lara is. That doesn't mean he's necessarily winning the fight on the judges' scorecards, but.
Another one to the back of the head, I think. Now loading up on the shots to the body is Lara.
Dominguez really needs to work on his DLT, his distance, and especially his distance, because he's not really winning the fight from the outside. He's not getting peppered or anything, but just the whole complexion of the fight. And the way and as you said, the aesthetic, it just looks better for Dominguez, the puncher, when he's on the inside banging away. Lara's the guy that wants to be on the outside and try to box his way to a victory here in this main event. Right now he's doing it.
Final 10 seconds here. Oh! 6 rounds down in our 10-round main event. Welterweights inside the ring. Santiago Domínguez, Ricardo Lara. know, we talk about the aesthetic a little bit as we head into round number 7. That aesthetic and momentum of the fight can go back and forth, but when you have that hard, you know, recoiling of the head from Lara by the shot of Dominguez, has that maybe left an impression with the judges?
It gets a little bit more attention when a shot snaps the head by like that. But there's all kind of things. I remember fighters used to be told that don't have a long hair because of the perspiration flying away, and just everything that would give the impression that you're getting hit a lot. And so yes, I think that when Dominguez lands 1 or 2 punches, it's equivalent to probably 5 or 6 of Lara's, flicking shots and less powerful shots.
And that goes back to the idea that it's a quality over quantity, and that quality, I think, can be perceived a variety of different ways.
Or misconceived.
100%.
Yeah, depending on what you like. That's why this is such at its highest level.
Stop.
This sport is so subjective.
That shot subjectively low, according to Santiago Domínguez.
Wow, I didn't see a low blow there. Maybe I missed it.
I didn't see it really either, but he called it to the ref, and the ref said, yeah.
Maybe these earlier low blows have gotten in the heads of the referees here. I didn't see it.
Something's going around a little bit tonight here, I think.
Box.
And I think Lara's selling a little bit of this stuff by, complaining. Because I haven't seen, Summer throw anything egregiously low.
Right. We've talked about the demeanor of Lara earlier in the fight. His confidence definitely has grown over the course of it. What do you think about his demeanor now here in round number 7?
Of Lara?
Yeah, he's a bit more. I think he's playing Dominguez's game a bit more than he had earlier in the fight. But
I just think as we get into the later rounds and he's and the adrenaline's flowing, and I don't think he's been hit or clipped with a solid shot. I actually think he is fighting as good as he can. That is a beautiful combination by Lara. I mean, I think he and his trainers should be, and his fans watching on UFC Fight Pass should be very pleased, because I don't think he could fight better. This fight's really close. It could be either way. I have it 1 point either way. There's that head snapping back again that you mentioned too, that probably gives the impression that Dominguez is winning the round, when up until that point it was really Lara doing more of what he wants to do, see how the rest of the round goes. But I'd be very happy with his performance if I were him or anybody associated with him,
As you mentioned, Lara believed that they would have to outbox Dominguez and be tactical and strategic, and he's done that through the course of the better part of 7 rounds.
Yes, and doing it in this round. Again, other than that one really nice combination by Dominguez, that flashy shot, it's been more of that. Kind of Lara stealing the rounds, if you will, in a subtle way.
Right. The question is it too subtle?
Great point.
So much up for conjecture when it comes to scoring close rounds in boxing. Final 30 seconds left here in round number 7.
Now here is where these last 25 seconds, if I were Dominguez, and maybe his corner would yell out, like Sugar Ray Leonard's corner used to do, and Ali's got 30 seconds left, and you try to steal the round.
Right.
But right now, they see that this is Lara stealing it.
Right.
With those 4, 5, 6, 7 jabs, 8, 9, 10. Not all of them landed,
sure,
but that did.
But it's that aesthetic, it's a different sort of aesthetic from, Lara, who's had his, head snap back. That aesthetic is Dominguez being forced to cover up by a quantity of shots, and he's been trying to get the round, I think, there as he sort of overwhelmed with some offense.
I think Summer's a bit frustrated from the style of Lara, the production of Lara, working on the nose of Dominguez.
Some action here in round number 7. Smitty, walk us through.
Really good round for Lara. There, Dominguez lands the left hook. Blocked. That second one was blocked. That one shot landed, but not much on it. And there's the peppering combinations of Lara, who really, at the end of that round when I said it was wide open, anybody's to take. Who took it? Lara took it. I have this fight dead even. You know, I would have no problem with Dominguez being ahead by a point or so, Lara being ahead by a point or so, or the D, the draw. Nobody's dominating this fight, though.
Round number 8 underway, our main event. Santiago, Summer, Domínguez, Ricardo, Lara. This combination uppercut lands for Lara.
Once again, it's Lara taking the lead early in the round. He's kind of beginning the rounds with more ammo firing and ending the rounds with more stuff going on, busier. Domínguez threw the left hook, but it was just one. Lara patient on the outside, trying to set up the jab. And he's in Dominguez's head because Dominguez doesn't know what type of jab it's going to be, and thus opens up a body shot. There's a nice right hand over the top by Dominguez, but not a lot on it.
How frustrated do you think Summer is at this point? A few times we've seen him hit his gloves together and, you know, show some signs of frustration.
Well, when you kind of get used to guys, I using the term, this is just a term, cooperating with your power. And this guy, Lara, is not cooperating, but this is the type of fight that he needs. Again, is it the kind of fight that he and his camp want?
Right.
I think what he needs to do, and when you swing and miss like that, that means you're really getting frustrated and outboxed. Good angles by Lara.
Just past the halfway point here of round number 8.
Those wild swings by Dominguez will take a lot out of him, and I know there's only a few rounds left, but these are the key rounds.
Hey! Stop! No fuera, tire. Box.
Again, doubling up on that jab is Lara, very controlled and comfortable in this fight.
Summer's mouth is open. I think he's a little tired, a little fatigued.
You know, we talk about frustration. That can be taxing on your cardio as well if you get frustrated and start pushing a little bit too more. Do you feel that maybe is the case here with Dominguez?
I just think it's the style. Oh, yeah, that was the best right hand of the fight by Lara. He landed a check hook earlier, and that's the kind of stuff. And you see the face of Dominguez starting to swell up.
Definitely can see the damage being worn by Dominguez, and now Lara coming alive, working some shots to the body and to the head, covering up. Dominguez may be in some serious trouble.
Yeah, he got hurt with a body shot, real bad.
10 seconds left in the round. Yes. Can Dominguez survive? The action slows as they enter the clinch, back at space. Wow. A ton of action there in round number 8. Smitty, got to believe that if we were wondering where the momentum was in which corner to end round number 8, it's firmly in the corner of Lara.
Almost a 10-8 round. Was a body shot. I believe it was a left hook to the body. He had thrown a check left hook, and then he landed a big right hand and then another body shot. There's a jab. There's the right hand. There's the left hook. And you see the wincing of Dominguez. And Summer did a good job to survive that. He held on right at the end, but he was in a lot of trouble.
It came at the right time for Dominguez, if it was going to come at a right time.
At the end of the round,
he's able to recover. Would you like to see Lara get right back to the body to start round 9?
100%. I don't like the demeanor of Dominguez in the corner there. He was slouching down. Yes, a body shot. Remember I said you go right back to the body. I mean, I would load up on him. There's a left hook to the head. I'd go right back down. And again, even when you block body shots, it still hurts. Doesn't go away, especially if you end up cracking a rib or something like that.
Dominguez moving forward here to start this round, but not throwing a lot, just moving forward.
Right now, this fight is really going the way Lara wants it to go. Don't know how the judges have it, but and it's really close on my card, but everything, Summer's just like a stationary target. He looks like he's befuddled and confused and tired.
and potentially hurt. We'll see.
He
what
was hurt
happens.
in the last round, that's for sure. I don't know if he's recovered from that.
Right.
And this is where Lara's probably not the offensive juggernaut that's going to go for it, but I would at least try to go back to that body if I were Lara. And how you can set up that hook to the body is off the jab. Throw a little combination and then touch the head with the jab and go right back to the body, a la Mickey Ward. There's a nice double hook by Lara. He's stealing them with those the shots. It's like Summer can't see him coming.
And the output here by Dominguez has slowed. Again, he's moving forward, but not throwing with the volume that he has previously in the bout.
It's like me with trigonometry. I just didn't have any answers. When they first put trigonometry in front of me, I had no answer. I just couldn't figure it out. And right now, I guess Lara is Dominguez's trigger. I can't even say it.
No kidding. Dominguez trying to find an answer of his own here, though. But again, you can just tell the demeanor, composure, posture of Lara. He's on point.
Summer tried to land a few of his own body shots there, but he's just waiting. You can just see that he's been hit with so many jabs. I'll use the line that I used last night. It's like he's been fed a lot of tequilas, and he's a little loose. There's a nice combination, not hard by Lara, but enough. And there's a good angle, good turn. Right when Dominguez is setting to throw a shot, Lara spins off to the side. Never used trigonometry in a fight before. I think that's my first one. I
don't even know how you would use trigonometry otherwise, to be honest with you.
Guess I'm a professor of pugilism. Another good round for Lara.
100%. Final 10 seconds here of this ninth round.
Stop. Stop. Escúchame. A la próxima te voy a contar. Tiempo.
9 rounds down in our main event. The undefeated Santiago Dominguez.
That record's in jeopardy.
100%. Just going to say he's got his hands full with a very game and motivated and largely successful in this fight, Ricardo Lara. We will see, what the judges say if we get there. But with that stage set, a very all-important final round headed our way next.
Yeah, we're showing the corner of Lara there. In the corner of Dominguez, I'll tell you what's going on. He's got his hands on the ropes, and I hate that. His corner should put his hands down to his side to let the blood flow. So many of these trainers of today, they don't think about that, but believe me, it makes a difference.
You want to get that blood flowing as much as you can to get the circulation through the body. I don't care who you are, after 9 rounds of boxing, you're going to feel that fatigue, but the momentum may be on the side of Ricardo Lara. And we'll see if Dominguez changes his output here in this final round.
I have Lara ahead by 2 points. So on my card, Dominguez would need a knockdown to even things up. Again, that's my card. It's a big, they're starting off in a good fashion.
We know Dominguez is capable of unleashing his power. We'll see if he can call upon it now in this final round.
And I think Lara should act as though he's behind. Should not just go out there and play safety first.
You never know how the judges have it, and the last thing you want to do is go back to your hotel room taking a loss when you could have done more in that final round.
Or go back to that pregnant wife when you're expecting your first child.
Right.
She might be irritable to begin with, so he's got a chance at. Well, again, on my card he does. Summer's having a good round so far, though. Sensing, I think, that he's in trouble. Another good left hook by Dominguez. Summer has recovered from that body shot because he's really letting his hands go.
Trying to find the body multiple times. Right hand to the head there of Lara by Domínguez. The building getting loud as the offense is turning up here inside the Marina Terra Event Center for the native of Obregon. Santiago Dominguez, undefeated, 23-0. Final 70 seconds here of this fight.
Let's see if he can finish strong. He spent a lot of energy, Summer did, the first couple of minutes of this final round.
Referee having a hard time getting these two men back at space.
Big right hand landed by Dominguez, but didn't have the power to hurt Lara this late in the fight. Let's see who, if anybody's going to try to steal these last 40 seconds.
It's been a close fight with both fighters having some success. Timeout here.
Cuidado con la cabeza. Los dos, cuidado con la cabeza. Box.
Clash of heads. Final moments of this fight. Jalisco's Ricardo Lara trying to upset the undefeated Santiago Dominguez. These men are getting after it in the final moments here, round number 10.
Suéltalo, suéltalo, stop. Fuera, lo tiren. Box. Stop.
It is done. Judges will tally their 10s and 9s, maybe even a 10-8 round. You mentioned that earlier when Dominguez.
I don't think that they would have given it a 10-8 round. I had it a 10-9 round. That would have been the only point where there could have been one. I have Lara winning by 1 point. Nothing would surprise me, and nothing would be egregious. Even the proverbial draw.
Looking at Lara, he was definitely happy with his performance as he walked to his corner, dancing, moving. You know, going 10 rounds with an undefeated pro like Dominguez, he's earned that a little bit tonight, knowing that he's the underdog. He definitely performed well, but looking across the ring to Dominguez, you know, his posture is different. He may still very well walk away with this win, Smitty, but it's not the type of win that he wanted if he does get it.
And we mentioned that in the open. He needed to win. Could look very impressive in doing so. And I don't have a problem if he gets a decision or if it's a draw or if Lara wins, as it is on my card. But I think that what he might have learned about himself is perhaps he's not ready for that step up.
We will see what is next for both of these men, but here's some action. Walk us through a great fight.
Well, this is what you saw. That there was the beautiful body shot off the jab. There's that lead left hook. Nice right hand by, I definitely Dominguez had a good final round. I thought he won at least the first 2 minutes of the last round. Lara won the last minute, however, so that round goes to Dominguez. Again, 96, 95, Lara.
Judges working out their scores. Two men meeting in the center of the ring, putting on a show. And the question is the undefeated record still going to be intact? Santiago Dominguez, will he move to 24-0, or is it Ricardo Lara that is about to pick up the biggest win of his career? The answer, it lies with Lupe Contreras.
Ladies and gentlemen, after going all 10 rounds here at the Marina Terra Hotel and Spa, San Carlos, Sonora, Mexico, we go to the scorecards. Judge Cota scored the bout 96-95 in favor of Domínguez. Judge Orona, 96-94 in favor of Lara. And Judge Drew scores it 96-95 in favor of the winner by way of split decision. De Ciudad Obregón, Sonora, Mexico, Santiago Dominguez.
Well, tonight the sun shines on summer. Santiago Dominguez getting his hand raised after a